You're listening to The Manning Report with your host, James David Manning. The news behind the headlines.
So, Julian Assange got busted, right? They dragged him out of that Ecuadorian holdup this morning or in the evening over there in London. And we're going to be looking at that whole item today. Exactly what is happening with Julian Assange? What does he look like? He looked like Burl Ives or somebody. Look at him. He got a little older, that gray beard and everything going on with Assange. But yeah, they busted him. And we understand that the procedures on the arrest in the Ecuadorian embassy there in London was on a warrant, extradition warrant issued by the U.S. government back in December of 2018. And this is a bit of a concern. There are a couple of things I'm concerned about. One is that, if Julian Assange comes and begins to testify, I don't think he's going to have anything good to say about Trump. Robert Mueller, I believe, has closed the investigation regarding WikiLeaks, regarding the tapping of Hillary Clinton's emails and dropping that information, and also the Iraq soldiers filing the Chelsea Manning connection. No relation to me, of course. I think all that has been closed, so I'm not sure exactly what the extradition is all about and why Julian Assange was continuing to hold up in that embassy there for the past 7 years. But they got him. They busted him. And Mr. Engine, I think we have a video clip of that, the clip number 3. Let's just roll that and take a look at that whole process so people can see that I'm, in the event that they have been made aware by some other news medium, that they can see it going on here in real time.
Julian Assange hasn't left the Ecuadorian embassy in London since 2012. That's where he was granted asylum as he faced sexual assault charges in Sweden. Those charges have since been dropped. But this morning, Assange was arrested on a 7-year-old failure to appear in court warrant stemming from that charge after the Ecuadorian president withdrew his asylum status. Assange's attorney says the Australian native is also facing extradition over criminal charges filed by the U.S. Department of Justice for publishing thousands of classified military and diplomatic documents through WikiLeaks. A fact officials haven't officially confirmed, but prosecutors accidentally made public in November. WikiLeaks also served as a conduit for publishing private emails stolen by Russians from the computers of the Clinton campaign and the Democratic Party. The Ecuadorian president has said Assange repeatedly violated the conditions of his asylum. According to officials, Assange is being held in a central London police station until he can appear before a judge.
Why now? And why, obviously, the strength of this arrest and the Ecuadorian president rescinding his asylum, if you will, privileges to Julian Assange there in that embassy. Why now? And because Trump likes Julian Assange and likes the work he did with WikiLeaks and, the being a filter for the Russian cutouts who stole the emails and then filtered them through WikiLeaks, which allegedly is some sort of a legal journalistic organization such as the New York Times or the Washington Post. And Russia used WikiLeaks as the way to post their findings about Hillary Clinton. So my question is that this can't benefit Tribulation Trump for Julian Assange to come and testify because, Trump kept saying, I like WikiLeaks, I like WikiLeaks, which effectively means he likes Julian Assange, which effectively means that he liked what Julian Assange was doing. Now, I think the question may be litigated in court as to whether or not what Julian Assange did can be considered as criminal. And the argument here is that if WikiLeaks is then founded as a legal journalist organization, then in America there's a First Amendment right to publish information, even though it's damning to the government or anybody else, as long as it was obtained through legal means, I believe. So I'm not sure this is very confusing to me. I saw it this morning. I was going to have a cup of coffee and I saw it breaking news that Julian Assange being dragged out of. I said, why now? I don't think that, and the Justice Department, now the Justice Department is being headed by Bill Barr. Why would Bill Barr want Julian Assange in a courtroom, or before Gerald Nadler, or before Adam Schiff? Why now? It doesn't make any sense. Something about this ain't clean. It just doesn't smell right. I'm just not sure what is going on. I know that the indictment or the extradition charges were leveled before the Trump administration became a source. Actually, it happened in December of 2017, so Trump had been in office for a year. And maybe it was under the Mueller investigation that the extradition charges were heightened. But now that Bill Barr is the head of the Justice Department, he's the Attorney General, he runs the entire Justice Department, I don't think he wants to deal with, I don't think he wants the information. And the other thing is that Julian Assange, I would think, would want to sell what information he knows, want to trade in what information he knows to get for a get out of jail free card, which would not be good for Trump either. So I'm not sure exactly what this is, but wait, I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's go back to Trump during the campaign. Trump said he loves WikiLeaks 141 times in 1 month. I got a video of all the times he said it. It's going to drive you insane. But Mr. Engineer, run that video clip number 1. Trump talking about how he loves WikiLeaks and effectively saying, I love Julian Assange. And
WikiLeaks.
Criminality.
We've learned so much from WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks just came out with lots of really unbelievable things.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. I love WikiLeaks. We have to go back to WikiLeaks. Oh, WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
That came out on WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. And WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks, right? WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks.
Okay.
WikiLeaks.
Okay.
Well, I love reading
All
those
right,
WikiLeaks.
enough of that idiot.
WikiLeaks.
So WikiLeaks is primarily, Julian Assange is primarily a computer hacker. You know, that's what the boy does. The boy hacks computers. He knows how to run red lines through your computer system and drag your information off your hard drive. You know how to steal information from out of Mars. The boy's good at that. This Australian named Julian Assange. And he got hooked up with this transvestite named Chelsea Manning. Bradley Manning was his name prior to his surgical operation, provided, of course, by U.S. dollars in the military. U.S. Army now calls himself Chelsea Manning, of all things, crying out loud. But I'm terribly confused about this. I was looking at the prospects of what's happening in America right now, and I have to tell you that what we're looking at right now, if you're a news junkie and you've been watching this, you take a side, I don't know whether you're on the Trump side or whether you're on the anti-Trump side, and you're looking at what Bill Barr has recently done, and we're going to get to that, about dropping that loaded word yesterday about the FBI or the Justice Department spying on the Trump campaign, Bill Barr said that he was not going to allow, he's not going to go before the courts to ask for the 6E provision of the redaction to be removed for the court to allow grand jury testimony to be made available to the Congress and essentially to the public. And so you may be wondering and saying, well, America can never be put back together again. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I am He. I'm the Lord's servant. James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.